Success has nothing to do with your career. Having a great career has little correlation with success. Success is not about joining the family business. In many Asian cultures, it's about getting into your family business. Not true. Success is not about being an entrepreneur or having a business. You do not have to be an entrepreneur. One of the most interesting feedback I get from my speeches recently to college students is that they come up to me going, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you told me I don't have to be an entrepreneur. Everybody else keeps telling me I need to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to. You gave me permission to not do it." Being an entrepreneur is another bullshit rule. It's a means goal, not an end goal. So then what is success? I believe it's this. The most extraordinary people in the world do not have a career or a business. What they have is a mission. They have a mission that gives them a particular meaning, that fuels them in terms of what they want to do in the world. They are not about a job. They are not about a career. They are obsessed instead with something bigger. That's something we call the mission. I had a chance once to meet Elon Musk. I was part of the X Prize Foundation, and we got to visit SpaceX. So that was the actual meeting that happened in the room. And I got to ask Elon Musk, who's my favorite entrepreneur in the world today, a very important question. The question was, "Elon, if I could take you and put you in a blender and then blend you and distill the essence of Elon Musk, what would that essence be?" And when he got over the fact that I just asked a question about murdering him, he said this. He said, well, so these are actual photographs from that meeting. He said, well, now he went into a bit of a tangent, but the essence of the answer was essentially this response. He said, look, I graduated, I was trying to figure out what to do, and I thought the internet sounds really exciting, so I decided I wanted to go get a job at Netscape. So he sat down at the reception office in Netscape, holding his resume in his hand, and he knew Netscape was building the new browser, Mozilla. Sounded really cool. He wanted to be a part of that. And he waited, and he waited, and he waited. And because he was a geek, he didn't have the balls to get up and go and actually approach the receptionist and ask for a meeting. He just waited, assuming someone would come and talk to him. And he said, nobody came and spoke to me, so I said, fuck it, I'll just start my own company. And Elon Musk went on, and he started a company which he sold, then he started PayPal, then he started SpaceX, then he started Tesla, and now he's probably the world's most significant entrepreneur because nobody picked him up from that receptionist office. But that isn't the point. The point is this. When I asked Elon, what is your essence? He said this. He said, I believe man should be an interplanetary species. I believe that the essence of the American dream is to explore, and I believe that we should have a colony on Mars. He said he decided that it would be incredible if we colonized Mars, so he decided to go to NASA's website and see what NASA was doing about it. And he saw that NASA had nothing about their plans to colonize Mars on their website. He said, first I thought, boy, NASA really has a shitty website that they don't update. Then he realized, no, NASA is shitty. It's not doing anything to make us an interplanetary species. I bet I could do that. And the next thing you know, he ended up revolutionizing battery technology, building an electric car to help preserve our environment, then building the replacement to the space shuttle. In 2008, I believe, NASA finally decommissioned the space shuttle. Today, NASA payloads are taken to space by Elon Musk's SpaceX. But Elon Musk didn't say what drove him was SpaceX or Tesla. What drove him was that. It was this crazy, obsessive mission with helping mankind become an interplanetary species. And this is something I found with really extraordinary thinkers. They dream big. And because they dream big, the other problems become small for them. They're obsessed with this one crazy idea. It's almost a mad obsession, but it gives them a fuel. It makes them excited about life. They do not have jobs. Rather, they have this grand mission that they have to pursue because it gives them a form of meaning. Now, that meaning gives them incredible resilience and fuel. Do you know Elon Musk, when he sold his shares in PayPal, he was PayPal's biggest shareholder. So he made something like $220 million. He decided to gamble all that money on building rockets. His first rocket exploded. His second rocket blew up. His third rocket failed. And then he was down to $20 million left. He had one more shot at a rocket. He knew that if this final rocket exploded, and odds were it will, because until then, only nations could put rockets in space, not private individuals. He knew he was going to lose everything. his experimental car company Tesla, SpaceX, and all his savings. He was so broke that he could not afford rent. He told us that he had to ask his friend Adeo Ressi, one of the early co-founders of PayPal, if he could sleep on Adeo's couch, because he, Elon Musk, as recently as 7 years ago, could not afford rent. That Ford rocket would either destroy everything he owned or make him a genius. And of course we know what happened. That Ford rocket took off. On December, I believe it was December 2010, I may have the dates wrong, after that Ford rocket took off, Elon Musk, who had no money for rent, signed $1 billion contract with NASA. Isn't that incredible? But the point isn't the contract. The point is that mission gives you a resilience so that you can lose all your money, but still want to try one last time with that 20 million because that vision is so important to you. And I think that's one of the most incredible ways to live. Now, we all can't be Elon Musk. He's, of course, the #1, arguably, entrepreneur in the world today. But we can live like this lady, Kalyani Kona. I was speaking in India a few months back, and Kalyani was the lady miking me up. So we started talking, and I asked her, what do you do? And she says, well, I'm working on an app, and that app is to help disabled people in India find love. So I asked Kalyani, oh, that's really interesting, tell me about it. She said, there are 80 million disabled people in the world, right? That slide is wrong. It should be 80 million in the world, 20 million in India. And of this 20 million disabled people in India, Kalyani had found that only 5% of them ever get married because they are blind, or they are deaf, or they can't walk. They don't have the same opportunities to meet the love of their life as we all do. So Kalyani decided she wanted to make an app to help disabled people find love. Isn't that beautiful? So she put up her app on Wishberry, which is like a Kickstarter for India, got funding, the government jumped in. She said, it was amazing, all these doors opened for me, and that app is now becoming a reality. So as she was miking me up, I filmed her for 30 seconds on my iPhone. I just want to share with you what she said. Well, let me preface that, right? I asked her, isn't it scary? You're like in your early 20s. You could be getting a job. Anyone would hire you. You're brilliant. But you want to gamble on this thing where you don't even know if you'll make any money because you want to help disabled people find love. This is what she said. Isn't it scary?
It's very, very scary, but
You can say it.
It's super scary, but if I have the opportunity to make a change and I have to do this, then I'd rather bring that change with the opportunities I've got rather than sitting in front of my laptop trying to, do something which is being allocated to me.
I love her response. If I can make a change, I'd rather make that change than sit in front of my laptop and do something which has been allocated to me. Allocated to you. That's how most of us live our lives, don't we? That's how we tell our kids to live our lives. Do what is allocated to you, which is pursue the traditional 9 to 5, the traditional rules of modern society. See, the problem with most people is that their problems aren't big enough. Unlike Kalyani or unlike Elon, they're worried about putting on a little bit of fat, or that guy who won't text them back after that date. But people with a mission, the little stuff, doesn't bother them. They have bigger problems. Their problems are helping disabled people find love, making mankind an interplanetary species, changing the education system. That's where I believe we need to train people to gravitate to. And I believe that should be the new definition of success. The question, though, is how do we get started? Well, here's something I think is true. Do not ask your kids, do not ask yourself, what do you want to be? Instead, ask this question. Now, I learned this question from a business coach called Martin Rudd, and it's a beautiful question. I think it's the most powerful question we can ask people today. And the question is simply, what is your vision of paradise on earth? What is your vision of paradise on earth? Rather than ask your child, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he'll say the usual stuff, astronaut, lawyer, doctor.